And good morning. Good morning, good morning. How's it going? Okay, 1 second. Boom. Hello. GM. Complicated day today. I've got a lot to do, but I wanted to read this article anyway, so I figured I'll just launch the stream. Today we'll read more about DAOs. I need to write some scripts about it, so that's wild here, sir. Dude, I think that's like the running gag over the week. It gets wilder and wilder. Good morning, John. How's it going? I just woke up like 30 minutes ago. Yeah, it doesn't want to cooperate today. It's even worse now. There's nothing to do. There's no solution. How are you doing, friend? Building a voxel ledger inspired by the 30s cartoons. Cool. Nice. Which cartoon? Especially? How with me? Today I need to work. I need to read this article on DAOs, and then I need to prepare. Or like to finish an entire sheet about DAOs and like problem solve what can be implemented on a legal level. So I think today in total I will need to read about 50 to 60 pages of content about DAOs and like more legal stuff. And this I'm reading because it's the article from Arthur Hayes about DAOs, and I think there will be a lot of interesting things from an operational point of view, and then I can like use this space for my legal research, and then I can kind of try to find solutions that are cross that apply to both point of views. And then you have like the best kind of way to approach this topic, I think. So today a lot of work. Every single one of them I'm trying to print this style if you will. Oh yeah, cool. 100% dude. Cuphead style. Oh man, I love this style. I love it. I should do I want to do so many things. I should do some video game streams again. I want to play those games I love so much, because I've not been playing in so much time. Maybe it would be good. The only problem is if I stream a game, I don't know what to stream. Besides like Elden Ring that I didn't finish. Like besides Elden Ring, I really don't know what game I want to stream. Oh, maybe I can stream the puzzle game that's called... maybe I can stream... fuck, I forgot how it's called. It's like a super well-known puzzle game. I'm addicted to Age of Empires. Do you know that game? Oh yeah, I know Age of Empires, but I was never really fond of it. I never played it a lot. I was always more on the StarCraft side. I think the StarCraft gameplay is a bit more dynamic, I guess. Okay. This is good. I'm trying in general to be a bit more consistent with my streams. I don't know if you guys like when I do research, but I think it's pretty cool. You know, the way I'm envisioning this is if I do research, I don't know, like 3 to 5 times or more a week on my channel, at the end of the day I will have such a big data compiled on my YouTube channel of all the research I made. And that's like just crazy to think about. Dude, have you guys received any interest on the Game Jam form? The current one? Wait, let me check. How did we do it? Ah, yes. Right, I'll check right now. Good morning, everybody. I see some more people joining. How's it going, guys? Google Forms. Let's see. Dude. Okay, it says 1 GB until file limits. Why? I've been receiving mails. Damn, no, we have not received any response yet. Okay, I'll need to send some reminders. Okay, we have not any official entry yet. Fuck. Okay, good point, good point, good point. No. Oh, this is a disaster, dude. This entire game jam, honestly. Also, I think that hair fits you perfectly, by the way. You think so? Is it because I'm this chaotic? Is that the reason? Dude, that entire game jam is a complete mess. I'm so annoyed. First of all, we just launched it, and I think it was like a really cool idea. And then we got contacted by Sandbox because they were mad at us. So their official response was the guy in charge was too lazy to review the accounts and like whitelist artist accounts. He was too lazy to do that for a contest that's not Sandbox related because it's basically adding him work. And so we asked him, hey, but maybe you can create us a special account or whatever. And then he didn't want to. And then in the conversation it was super weird because it seems like he was also mad because we made the tower defense game jam, and seems like it wasn't their plans or something. So so I think they were banned on two specific occasions. I spent like 10 days. Yeah, everyone, but you know, I mean, I don't know. I told this to some people who DM me. I'm not sure if you were the one. But basically, I think the assets you built, you can still use it in the future for another game. I can't like disclose, but it's like not lost. But for our contest, it won't be very useful. How's it going, Airline Milk? What are you up to? Would never DM you. What do you mean? Oh, you were the guy. Oh, okay. I think because I think you don't have the same account name, right? Yeah, I think you don't have the same. I have too many DMs, dude. Yeah, whatever. I can't find. Just welcome to the stream. Makes two of us. How have you been? I'm doing super good, man. Right now I'm in like massive grind mode. I'm working hard as fuck. And yeah. By the way, Airline, I don't know if you know, but we haven't disclosed it officially, but I stopped working for the DAO. I decided last week or something. Just want to disclose so that you're aware. I'm fear for them, honestly. Fuck. Yeah, right now, guys, I'm working so for Sandstorm. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but right now I'm working for Sandstorm, and it's going pretty well. And I've been hired by a lawyer in France, so I'm working there. Thank you for everything you've done, though. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the project is fine. The art is fire. Like, I can see a world where the project works out. The only issue I have is yeah, sure, go ahead, ask a question. The only problem I have with the project is that we don't have, basically, to put it bluntly, we don't have aligned visions with the other leads. And so I decided to pull out of the project, especially because I know that if we commit to the project, it's like 1 to 2 to 3 years of work. And I don't think it's worth it to push myself to work with people while we don't have the same visions. It will just lead to more conflict, and I think it won't be beneficial for the project. So yeah, I just decided to pull out and focus on my career, and especially because I'm doing so much other stuff, and I had like a concrete alternative. Yeah, but yeah, it has been rough for me, dude. Like, honestly, on Golden Frogs and on Age of Anura, you know, I'm still in the Warden, so I'm like still doing transactions and stuff, but I won't be actively working. But yeah, I've been working there since November and just trying to figure out stuff. So if you count in like lost capital due to all this time, like, consider my market price. If I wanted to sell my time full time, would be like $4,000 to $5,000 a month, because that's approximately my value right now. It means I would have lost 9 months, sorry, of work. So basically, the work I did in those projects is like minus 45k, plus like 3k I lost because I spent my own money to kind of bootstrap some little projects that failed, unfortunately, because when you pay people that are not the best in their fields, because you want to cut expenses, you don't get shit done. So it's not easy. Let's say I got one fresh Cardano NFT project who wants to join the metaverse through Sandstorm. How exactly would that look like? Björn, so I mean, first of all, you need to be aware that Sandstorm, we are not the cheapest to work with, let's put it this way. But if you want to join, you would contact our sales team. The best is you contact Gasman, the Gasman on Discord. He's our main outreach guy. So you contact him, and then basically what they'll do is they'll get on a sales call with you guys, and then you can discuss the details. But honestly, yeah, I mean, prepare some budget, because we have different price points. But yeah, if it's just a fresh NFT project and you don't have a lot of capital to bootstrap it, it's tight. So yeah, Alan, like, I think overall, like, this entire DAO stuff, I don't know. Thing is, I need to be careful now as well, because I'm fully doxxed with who I associate myself with, and especially with a DAO that's like not legally compliant yet. I need to be super careful, especially if we pay people and stuff. And like, there are like several reasons that pushed me to be careful. So you could say I could start an anon account and get into the leadership team. I could do that, but I don't know if that's the best approach. So like, there were like too many arguments that like were for the fact that I just stopped working there and I cut basically my allocation. So I'll never get anything from that, but it's fine. And yeah, and else, so I was doing COTR and that was going pretty well. So this, I didn't decide yet if I continue or not. My main issue with COTR is for COTR, I'm the only one doing it. And if I do this and I need to run a Twitter account and like publish enough content, the vertical upside would be I write technical articles on these specific topics, so I could basically use my knowledge I have in law or something like this and convert it on the project. But it just added work and I'm already stretched very thin. I'm not sure if it's the best play for me right now. Especially because I need to make sure I'm not completely burning out. But yeah, has been a tough decision. But yeah, overall cool stuff coming. I'm going to several events in the next few weeks. Conference and stuff. Last Thursday I had my first IRL conference, which was pretty exciting. So yeah, you're doing good. You know, just trying to build something in the bear and make different kinds of works that I can connect. It's also the reason why, for instance, I do this stream, because I do research. Then I can take the research I do and I use the research to write scripts, and in the future I'll do videos on my channel and on a French channel I'm running with some friends. So like I can completely use all the things I do now. What are you going to teach us today? We are going to learn about DAOs, especially reading this article here. Because I need to work on DAOs. I need to make templates on the legal side. So I'll do this. Okay, so let's get started if you're ready. The way I do it is I just run it with text-to-speech and then I comment on specific things. This guy is writing super, like the articles this guy writes are amazing. I'm a big fan. Even though this guy is a bit scammy. Do you code them? I'm not coding, I'm more on the product design side of things. Okay. Good. So I'm not coding. Okay, so now let's do it. Let's focus. Boom. Boom. Do you see my Notion? Why do you not see my Notion? I've been thinking about learning to code. The problem is that right now I need to decide on anything I do. I need to decide what's like the best play for my time. And I think for my time, it's better to have more knowledge than learning to code, like learning a new skill from scratch. I think it's better long term. Okay, let's learn Solidity. Yeah, I mean, at some point I'll need to learn. At some points. Okay, let's go.
DAO Lay Low Mo. Any views expressed in the below are the personal views of the author and should not form the basis for making investment decisions, nor be construed as a recommendation or advice to engage in investment transactions. After spending a third of my life in Hong Kong, my Cantonese is still rubbish. I can squeak out my address with an acceptable accent, but not much else, aside from my repertoire of essential Cantonese expletive phrases, which is passable. Walking down the street in Hong Kong, you might believe this island to be a city of malcontents due to the noise and tone of overheard conversations. If you happen to like dim sum, the cacophony of loud-spoken Cantonese is a key part of the experience.
It would be awesome, but it would also be illegal. If I pay a private service. But yeah, I agree.
The experience. And if you are really a local, you will be able to swear using the correct tones. Supposedly there are 9 tones in Cantonese, of which I know exactly 0.
I can barely intonate Mandarin correctly, and it only features 4.
My tutor is always correcting me. The most common spoken invective is "du lei lo mo," and it's used often and in many situations. A correctly placed "du" will get you far, even if 90% of the sentence is in English. The linguistic features of Cantonese have almost no relevance to DAOs and the metaverse, so don't go looking for hidden meaning in the title of this post.
I just really like the sound of it.
With that bit of non sequitur context out of the way, onto our regularly scheduled programming.
This guy
The
just
way
doesn't
back
give a fuck.
wind-powered machine. Look around you, every single object you interact with began as a figment of someone's imagination. This idea then infected others, and subsequently convinced them to part with their physical or financial capital to create it. The more organized, viral, and well-funded an idea, the easier it becomes to actualize. The goods and services societies enjoy are a function of how well a particular place is able to organize capital and deploy it. The ways in which various city and nation-states use seafaring voyages to expand their economics perfectly illustrate the importance of organization. Like most American high school students my age, we spent an extensive amount of time in history class documenting the various ways European nations colonized the Americas, Africa, and parts of Asia. The new and exotic landmasses and trade routes were discovered by intrepid men seeking their fortune. Today's classes likely focus more on the various unsavory means by which countries expanded their empires, as they should, but when I was in school 2 decades ago, history class wasn't quite so woke. During the Ming Dynasty, a century before the European age of exploration, a Chinese naval captain named Zheng He floated large, impressive vessels and landed at various points on the African coast. His ships featured watertight hulls, magnetic compasses, and fresh citrus fruit to fight the scourge of scurvy. Unfortunately, due to the financial strain of Zheng He's voyages and other internal economic issues, the emperor at the time unilaterally ended China's outward naval explorations. The dockyards were mothballed and the economic engine of China entered a long period of stagnation that wasn't broken until Deng Xiaoping's southern tour in 1992. A few centuries after Zheng He's death, a small, cold, damp, and dark island called England became a global empire due to the strength of its navy. It also helped that England didn't have to constantly defend overland borders, allowing them to pick and choose their battles in order to keep the European continent divided, but I digress. The technology employed between various European and even Chinese seafarers wasn't the factor that determined which nation-state floated the most impressive vessels. Rather, it was the way in which voyages were financed. What truly made the English so successful, along with the Dutch, was their pioneering of the limited liability joint stock company.
Okay, interesting. So he always goes on, oh, thanks, Airline Milk. Let's go. I did launch some contracts on the testnet, but got scared of a few days. It's too much power. Dude. Yeah. I think code, honestly, code is like... I think to me, coding is the definition of freedom in a way. Like you see, I mean, there are 2 ways of seeing code. Like either you see code just as a regular contractor and you're like executing tasks, or you're the one who are actually at the core of creativity, trying to like create stuff. And that's why I'm really interested in code, because I think the sole idea of being able to do anything you want is so scary and exciting at the same time, which is why I completely understand friends of mine or people I know that are completely obsessed with it, because like there's no limit. you can literally do whatever you want. It's too powerful. The tool is too strong. Your sound is only played in the left ear using headphones. Wait, sound is only played in... This is true. Okay. 1 second. I think I'm on... I'll try to look, fix this. Wait. How can I... Why do I... Wait, I activated feedback. This is horrible. How do I deactivate feedback now? It's getting worse. I'm new on... Okay, sorry. 1 2 1 2. No, this is not it. I'm new on OBS. I was using Streamlabs before, so I'm sorry. I'm not very familiar with... Wait. The fact there's so many official game jams around right now didn't help. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Literally, we were planning our game jam because we were thinking... Sorry if you hear me in double now. Sorry. Literally, we were planning our game jam because we were thinking, okay, they're doing the Poro game jam. It's finished on the 12th. We launched on the 6th. Then they can basically just port over and do ours. This was our plan. And it completely fucked because they just kept announcing new ones. So our entire strategy is completely dead. We should have just sticked with Vox Edit contests, would have been way better. I think we really shoot in our own foot by doing game jams right now. But whatever. We need to accept it. Yeah, the sandbox shows vote, but it makes no sense either because they need us. So I don't know, dude. And this company in general, sandbox is a bit weird. Why do I have the feedback? Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. How did I do this? Mono. Okay, 1 2. No. Ah, okay, now it's better. Do you hear me mono? Is it good or not now? No, right? You still hear me in the left. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. No. 1 2 1 2. Now it's good, right? Let me check. 1 2 1 2. Yes. Okay, cool. Nice. Thanks, Alan. Personally, I strongly believe there's some staff members pushing UGC back as much as they can behind the curtains. I don't have any personal insights on this. All I know, and I can tell you, is that I think that the currently established builders are incentivized to have the closed system. That's what I'll say. I think it's really sorry. I think it's really an unhealthy kind of system where Sandbox is getting deals, they have their core builders. They are relinking the deals with the core builders, and so the builders are happy because they are in this privileged spot. Sandbox is happy because they can keep getting deals. I mean, it's a bit yeah, it's not easy, let's say. We are basically playing the game of opening up, right? Even with the new feature that will come up soon. This is our entire game plan. We want to open up the market. We want to create opportunity. You will be able to be hired on our marketplace by brands directly. So we are basically opening up, and they are very closed off for several reasons, technical, but I think also this kind of premium thing. That's a big idea. Sorry. So we got distracted. The main point of this specific section was that he talked about, I think the entire discussion about DAOs here will be about how do you conduct business? Do you need to have it closed? Do you need to have it opened up? And what are the benefits to both things? And here it's interesting because he makes this analogy with colonialism and how they expanded. And here he's saying that the technology didn't really matter between the different people who were doing colonialism, but the difference that made the English and the Dutch so successful was pioneering of the limited liability joint stock company. So basically the fact that the people were incentivized to explore. And now we will see, I think that's where he'll do the connection with DAOs, saying that the more people are incentivized to just be active and provide more value to the entire system, the better it is. But yeah, Björn, on the topic of Sandbox, I'm only speculating. I don't have a lot of insider knowledge. I don't know how it works.
Company. A company is an imaginary concept that allows strangers to agree on a codified set of principles under which they can pool their capital and limit their risk. The legal systems underpinning company charters ensure that everyone buys into the illusion by legalizing sometimes violent state retribution when a party violates the spirit of the agreement. The advent of companies allowed for a wide variety of individuals, both rich and not so rich, to participate in the global expansion of trade. Citizens of the various European powers collectively agreed that slips of paper, also known as stonks, could be used to represent partial ownership of these imaginary entities, thus giving rise to the first stonk markets and enabling investors to speculate on the future success of a given company.
A system that includes as many individuals as possible in the pursuit of a dream is more likely to succeed because it can raise a larger amount of capital.
The other method, at least, as it pertained to voyaging at the time, in which the crown monarch, for example Spain, or emperor, for example China, unilaterally dictated which voyages occurred and kept a majority of the profit, simply could not compete as effectively. In the wake of the Renaissance shepherded by our Lord Satoshi, we do not consider a corporate entity decentralized, but half a millennia ago, a company funded by a diverse set of individuals was the original decentralized organization. As we know, decentralized, inclusive systems succeed at many tasks better than centralized exclusive ones. The takeaway is that a fictitious thing called a company allowed a group of people to properly exploit a risky opportunity, and created extreme wealth for shareholders and the home nation state. This new framework for organizing people and capital allowed for the full exploitation of globalized trade by sea. What, then, will be the new shared fiction uniting billions of individuals to create and grow the various metaverses that will exist in the near future? It is the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or the DAO. The point of this essay is to illustrate the various ways that a DAO can usher in new, independent financial markets that exist only inside their respective metaverses. The end-to-end usage of cryptographic currencies transferred across a public blockchain will unlock amazing financial products that will help allocate risk and capital effectively within a metaverse.
This is so interesting. I didn't even know that the stock market really started to be a thing with colonialism, and it makes so much sense. that this was like the event that unlocked basically this new idea of getting together to use capital to make risky ventures. And now, you know, thinking about DAOs, it's the same thing, but like giving even more ownership to the single people, giving even more opportunity to the individual. Super interesting. You know, I'm half joking, but it's concerning nonetheless, much so when TSG's claims you can build to earn. Yeah, I mean, honestly, their marketing strategy is very, very debatable. If you listen to any of Sebastian's talks, I mean, it's all bullshit right now, right? It's maybe something he will eventually implement, but his entire sales talk is very far from reality, and I think it's an issue, especially in this world where it's so important. And you can double check, fact check anything, right? I'm surprised that he's not getting shit for it. Honestly, I'm surprised he's not being massively criticized by crypto OGs. I think most didn't really read through it. But yeah, if I meet Seb one day, and I'll do it really soon, in like 10 days, I'll meet him personally. I try to talk to him about this, but I don't think I'll be able to share. The point of this essay is to illustrate the various ways that the DAO can usher in the new independent financial markets that exist only inside their respective metaverses. There's no people in crypto right now. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the product has been the same since November. He's been doing the same speech for months now, right?
The result will be a robust civilization that exists solely on silicon-powered thinking machines. Let us pray. DAO triple entry accounting. In my junior year of university.
Okay, so basically, DAO further concept. So independence. Measures even more ownership, individuals, equal chance for anyone. Most newcomers who want to build leave after finding out the reality of the metaverse. Yeah.
University, I foolishly applied to take an upper-level accounting course. Like at many universities, students were allowed to sample many courses during the first 2 weeks. Only after the first 2 weeks of the semester were you required to decide on your final course load. The professor began describing the sorts of skills we would learn in order to spot inconsistencies and fraud embedded in accounting statements. After a semester abroad partying, forensic accounting did not sound appealing.
I dropped that class out sweet.
The reason why forensic accounting is a thing is because of a fatal flaw in double-entry bookkeeping. The fatal flaw is that by looking at a set of management accounts, we implicitly believe that all payments went to the correct party and the company in question actually owns the assets at the value recorded on the books. In order to truly verify the information presented, we must ask a third party if certain payments were made, a bank, or if a company has title to a certain asset, a government's title office. A DAO, by definition, exists in only a digital format on a public blockchain. That means its assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity, issued governance tokens, are all completely transparent and publicly verifiable by anyone with an internet connection. As an added kicker, the flow of funds between the DAO and any of its counterparties are also recorded publicly via the blockchain. Imagine a metaverse, called Palm Byte, and a commercial landlord called Trump DAO. Trump DAO builds the biggest and most badass virtual buildings and dwellings, and rents them out to avatars inside Palm Byte, all in the color gold. To get off the ground, Trump DAO issued Trump tokens in exchange for ETH. Let's assume Trump DAO raised 1,000 ETH and issued 1,000 Trump tokens. The reporting currency for Trump DAO is ETH.
Okay.
Balance sheet. Assets. 1,000 ETH. Liabilities plus shareholders' equity. 1,000 Trump worth 1,000 ETH. In order to construct the dankest structures in Palm Byte, Trump DAO contracted Tato Ondo as the digital architect. Who knew Trump DAO had such good taste? Tato Ondo charges 100 ETH. The remaining 900 ETH are spent purchasing land within Palm Byte. The output of this spend is 100 virtual buildings. Balance sheet. Assets. Minus 1000 ETH, Tato Ondo fee plus virtual land purchases. Plus 100 buildings. Liabilities plus shareholders' equity. 1000 Trump worth 1000 ETH. Trump DAO is able to rent out all 100 properties at an annual rent of 1 ETH per unit. Income statement year 1. Revenue. 100 ETH of rental income, 100 units 1 ETH per unit rent. Operating expenses. 100 ETH fee to Tato Ondo. Net income. 0 ETH. Every single Trump DAO data input used to create this balance sheet and income statement is publicly verifiable on the Ethereum blockchain. This is super important, because now Trump DAO needs financing to expand. The Trump token holders have a decision to make on how to raise additional.
Okay. Or do any kind of investment operation. You have completely clear accounting and transparency on potential income. E.g., the shareholders / community will be able to see the real situation of the DAO.
Additional funds to acquire more land, which is then used to increase rental income. They can either dilute themselves by issuing more Trump tokens in exchange for ETH, or they can attempt to tap the metaverse fixed income markets. The cost of funds for a landlord like Trump is currently 5% per annum. The token holders decide to issue a bond in hopes that other avatars in Palm Byte might invest. The face value of the bond is 1000 ETH. Imagine you are an ETH-rich Palm Byte avatar who would like to earn yield in ETH. Obviously, you want to lend to DAOs whose business will allow them to pay you back. As an astute metaverse investor, you examine the books of Trump DAO. Some clever dev team developed a handy tool that quickly verifies accuracy of any DAO's accounting statements by comparing the accounting statements written to the blockchain by the DAO, and the records of all the inputs. The service is almost superfluous because you can't lie with triple entry bookkeeping. In order to entice avatars to pay for the service, this accounting DApp also does simple financial ratio analysis. The output is the debt servicing capacity of Trump DAO. You learn that they earn 10% return on capital, versus the 5% bond coupon offered. The DApp also checks Zillow DAO for the current market value of the units owned by Trump DAO. You want to evaluate the recovery risk, should Trump DAO default. The Palm Byte property market is lit, all those new dorkers are moving across the wafer to get better tax treatment and pushing up prices. You have done well on the Doja Bonk pump, and decide to take down the entire Trump DAO bond offering. New balance sheet.
Okay, so basically, important aspects. You would have financial ratio analysis. So here you have debts, return on capital, percentage, and bond coupon. Boom. And asset investment evaluation. E.g., if you buy land and it goes up, the value is different. Okay, new balance sheet.
Assets. 1000 ETH, raised by selling Trump DAO bonds. 100 buildings worth 1000 ETH, 900 ETH purchase cost plus 100 ETH improvement costs due to Tato Ondo's fee. Liabilities plus shareholders' equity. 1000 Trump DAO bonds worth 1000 ETH. 1000 Trump tokens worth 1000 ETH. In this short example, the following actions, verifiable by a public blockchain, occurred. A DAO saw an opportunity to develop virtual land to let out. The DAO issued tokens in exchange for ETH. The DAO used the ETH to pay an architect and purchase virtual land, and then created 100 units for rent. The DAO earned rental income. The DAO issued a bond in order to finance additional development. The DAO automatically and programmatically created accounting statements by using the transaction records of its actions from the Ethereum blockchain. This allowed a third-party avatar to confidently assume some credit risk in order to earn a yield on their ETH.
Yeah, this is interesting because then basically the transparency, the blockchain transparency serves third party services to establish credit risk. Because basically, right, because if a lender, for instance, wants to thinks about lending, with this system, you have a way better financial oversight than even what you'd get in traditional banking, because you would have like complete transparency over the asset held and over the positions basically that the people, yeah, over the positions of the DAO, which means it gives even more security to these things. So here, I think there is a business idea here to do like on-chain accounting and selling the data that, or like the compiled analyzed data to lenders. I think it's a real business idea.
Metaverse fixed income markets. The simple example above is powerful in that the trust necessary to create a company, issue equity, engage in business, and issue debt for expansion featured in the TradFi system is absent in the metaverse. The DAO structure is completely transparent, and it is cryptographically impossible for the DAO to misrepresent its actions because every piece of data generated by the DAO resides on a public blockchain. The Achilles heel of the crypto fixed income markets will be, at least initially, the need to use an analog legal system to enforce digital property rights. Lending Bitcoin or some other crypto to a potato farmer, for example, requires you to trust some nation-state's legal system to uphold your property rights, should the farmer refuse to satisfy the contract. That is not an issue if both the investor and lender reside in the same jurisdiction. However, the promise of crypto finance is that, for the first time ever, we can connect the world and funnel capital to groups who otherwise would not be able to access TradFi capital due to jurisdiction-related issues.
Promise crypto finance, we can connect the world and funnel capital to grow, or for who otherwise would not be able to access TradFi capital due to jurisdiction-related issues. Yeah. Which is also interesting because you could basically lend out on a smaller scale, right? For instance, you could lend out 10K and have like a small scale business with the same system and with this completely transparent accounting, which is a way stronger foundation, I'd say.
Issues. A metaverse DAO raises crypto, earns crypto, and distributes crypto. It is an end-to-end crypto economy, where every action is publicly verifiable on a blockchain. Therefore, it is impossible to bamboozle investors by creating misleading and confusing accounting statements. Those who wish to judge the health of the DAO need only query the blockchain and presto. A complete, honest set of books appears. Debt recovery is also aided by the programmatic nature of crypto capital. Programmatic liens can easily be placed on digital assets. Don't pay up. After the grace period, ownership can be automatically stripped, the asset sold, and the net proceeds credited to.
Yeah, this is interesting as well. I think we also saw with the recent crashes that automated liquidation on the lending platforms is a super strong tool. Like, it's a super strong tool. Like, literally the DEXs, like the decentralized lending platforms outperformed the centralized lending platforms because they were permissionless and they just executed the transaction at the set market price where they had to execute, while the centralized lending platforms, they basically also over leverage their position or risk their position or had to do some manual actions that they didn't do or didn't execute on, which led to further downside for the centralized lending platforms. So yeah, I think like the more you understand that, you know, human action can be beneficial to the upside, but can be also very detrimental to the downside. By doing automation, you can, I think, level down the upside and the downside, which leads you to like you know, efficiency, like a stable efficient system where you can theoretically be profitable over time. Sorry. Blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. So basically, regarding nature of crypto capital, and here it means grace period, then if not paid up you would have ownership stripped. This is also a legal POV interesting, because I'm thinking if a protocol strips you from your ownership, where does it find its legal foundation? I mean, it would be written in the code, so theoretically if you buy, you accept kind of the terms of the code, but it doesn't exist really in this world. So how, I think you could eventually attach to those systems some kind of clauses that aren't like crypto against crypto, but that just clarify the situation also on a legal level, so that you can just have better sort of transactions, I'd say. Okay.
To lenders. The asset recovery process is open, transparent, and devoid of the egregious legal bankruptcy fees featured in Trad. Fi. It is beyond absurd that after over 7 years, Mt. Gox claims are finally being paid out. If a similar situation occurred in the metaverse, the bankruptcy and recovery process would happen over a few blocks, which is measured in minutes. Once investors understand the potential activities and value of commercially organized DAOs, the true power of metaverse capital markets will become evident. But even more interesting will be the simple financial products that will likely emerge after DAOs are used to organize capital inside the metaverse. DAO banks. A pure crypto fractional reserve bank that issues its own currency is now possible. Imagine Countrywide a DAO, a bank that focuses on property lending. To fund its equity cushion, it raises ETH and issues a governance token. The token holders vote for members to sit on a loan committee that creates and amends the automated lending standards. Countrywide a DAO ingests the public address of the property asset as data, and does analysis on how much to lend against said property. It then places a digital lien on the property such that in the event of default, the asset is sold automatically on a decentralized exchange DEX and the net funds flow back to the bank. To grow its deposit base, Countrywide a DAO pays an interest rate in ETH on funds deposited. Its balance sheet consists of property loans against liabilities of ETH deposits. The DAO Governance Council discloses the reserve ratio requirement, token cushion, return on assets, and other standard banking accounting ratios. Depositors and investors of the governance token are able to view, in real time, the health of the bank. If the bank breaches certain metrics defined by the DAO Governance Council, it will automatically rebalance its accounts by raising interest rates to attract deposits, disposing of property. Property loans, and or issuing additional tokens to beef up shareholders' equity. In the metaverse, avatars can organize themselves into banking DAOs, with different metaverse societal goals. These goals can be programmatically expressed via lending standards. These lending standards are completely transparent, so there is no question as to how banking DAOs originate loans. Credit scoring. There will be various types of employment offered in the metaverse. In the Trump DAO example above, an architect offered his services in exchange for payment in ETH. In this way, avatars can build up a publicly verifiable employment history and, by extension, a credit score. All payments are public knowledge, so anytime an avatar attempts to borrow funds, their complete financial picture is instantly available to a prospective lender. Various credit scoring dApps will use different algorithms in an attempt to determine the creditworthiness of an avatar. A few models will become standard due to their ability to predict default. In order to obtain credit in the metaverse, an avatar will have to purchase a credit score subscription from various dApps that lenders require when applying for loans. Gone will be the opaque and possibly discriminatory practices of TradFi credit scoring agencies. In the metaverse, the most successful credit scoring dApps by definition must be completely transparent about their scoring algorithm. And there will be no legal mandate to use one scoring method over the other, so only those that actually successfully predict default rates will likely gain market share. Credit card DAO. Wanna buy that sexy punk PFP, but lack the funds to do so? No worries, credit card DAOs will fill the need. These DAOs will use your avatar's credit score to issue you a metaverse credit card that allows you to spend crypto on approved purchases. The DAO
Oh, so his theory is avatar linked credit score across all metaverses, e.g. trace of history, plus linked to other services, and then you would have like credit card, trust based solely on permissionless credit scoring.
DAO can do instantaneous approvals based on credit score, the notional involved, and the purchase item. The credit card DAO could even adjust the interest charge depending on a variety of factors, all of which are publicly verifiable. The risk of default is reduced because the DAO can automatically garnish metaverse income such that they get their money back first. The DAO, similar to a bank, will raise funds by offering a rate on crypto deposits that's lower than the rate at which they lend. This is exactly how a TradFi credit card company works. However, in the metaverse, the risk of default will be much lower because all data about an avatar's financial history is instantaneously publicly available and verifiable.
Yeah, you have less risk actually. You have so decentralized systems, less risk for lenders, and more transparent systems for borrowers. Plus you can you get like clear rules, right? It's exactly how a TradFi credit card company works. However, in the metaverse, the risk of default will be much lower because all data about an avatar's financial history is publicly available and verifiable. Yeah, dude, this can be a very interesting market.
Verifiable. Mortgage DAO. Metaverse mortgage-backed securities MBS become possible. Imagine that you wish to purchase your pimp pad, but lack the funds to purchase it. No problem, you can borrow money based on your credit score. Various MBS_DAO origination outfits will lend money against property at various interest rates. These MBS_DAOs package these loans and sell these securitized products. Fixed income Legos. The way in which every DAO and dApp can programmatically communicate with each other allows for the creation of hyper-specialized financial products. The removal of information asymmetry between the borrower and lender, because all interactions are publicly verified, brings down the cost of credit. I could go on and on about the different metaverse-flavored TradFi fixed income instruments. Whatever you can imagine in TradFi, armed with honest, public information, the metaverse fixed income markets can offer products to more avatars at a lower interest rate. Credit boom boom. The essence of credit and debt is the ability to energy time travel. Returning to the present, future energy production is the magic that drove a much larger global economy. This will always be true, as long as the economic activity created is greater than the real interest rate. Given there is so much exploitable value in creating an entire new universe of human experience, the ability to borrow against a magnificent future will allow the flywheel of development to spin even faster. The absence of accounting fraud and the programmatic nature of metaverse asset recovery will raise the quality of borrowers, which in turn reduces the risk to lenders. The metaverse fixed income market will support a population of billions, and in a short time will become the largest, most liquid, and most important debt market globally. The
He's
current
bullish.
supremacy of the American economic model is directly predicated upon a deep and liquid corporate and government debt market. America is a nation of 350 million, so imagine the size and quality of the metaverse fixed income markets, which will serve 3 to 4 billion internet-connected souls, and hundreds of thousands of DAOs. As readers know, I am a metaverse uber bull. However, after writing this piece, another intellectual bullish pillar appeared. The exponential increase in human living standards following the first industrial revolution is not only a product of better technology, but a product of a financial system that created the ability for companies and individuals to invest now for a better future. With all its flaws.
Yeah. I think that's a very good sentence. The exponential increase in human living standards following the first industrial revolution is not only a product of better technology, but a product of a financial system that created the ability for companies and individuals to invest now for a better future. That's a cool thing. The reality is that since investments are percentage based, you can basically make a big change for yourself even with lower amounts of money, right? Which means that the accessibility of the products is really the key here to make a chain even at a very small scale. Like even if for you, I don't know, maybe $100 is a lot of money. I mean, that's possible, right? If you work, if you're using these systems, you can even eventually take credits on really small amounts while having added security. The service would take a percentage benefit on the small transaction, but on the other hand, since it's all automatic, they can run those small margins, which TradFi Finance can't, like TradFi can't. And that's why I think these systems are interesting.
Flaws. TradFi underpins the improved living standards we enjoy today, and enabled governments, companies and individuals to create a better future by allocating capital efficiently.
Yeah, that's it.
It is a shame that it has been so grotesquely perverted, but Lord Satoshi is here to deliver us from evil. Now that we can have verifiable, perfect information about all the actors in a metaverse economy, the financial architecture that is possible will unleash a torrent of human creativity and growth that will leave future generations speechless. One for all and all for one. Every single fixed income financial product innovation of TradFi, and more, is possible in the metaverse because of the DAO structure. The main difference between the metaverse fixed income markets and the TradFi ones is that the infrastructure will be publicly operated. Every single DEX and dApp will have its own token, which allows users to collectively construct the financial system they desire. It will not be a closed system in which the end customer has no ownership, but pays consistent economic rents in order to use the power of financial engineering. It will not be a system that selectively bars certain individuals and businesses based on their physical appearance, gender, or industry from accessing financial services. It will be a system that is inclusive, and through this inclusiveness generates a far greater economic pie to be shared amongst participants. This will not be a system without risk or failure. There will be colossal collective errors as a cadre of computers and humans rewrite how financial services function inside the metaverse. For investors who wish to provide capital to the builders of a completely new financial system, this is a once-in-a-millennia opportunity. Many wish they were the financiers, and not the assets being transported or financed during the European age of exploration. The creation of the metaverse fixed income markets offers the opportunity to create the most essential financial services of a completely new universe. Raise your fist at TradFi and repeat after me, Dao Lei Lo Mo.
Great article. I think main point here, interesting. I think the entire aspect of credit score and like the idea of putting decentralized credit score based on actual data is very interesting, and I think it unlocks a lot of new products. So yeah, I guess I would need to see if there are actual projects that are trying to build this. But yeah, that's very interesting. Also, like the idea of just leveling down the playing field, making it all equal. I think this will be huge. And yeah, just being able to do capital allocation even on smaller capital is, I think, the thing that really differentiates this space with TradFi. If you can allocate, I don't know, $1,000 and even just learn to allocate it with these kind of systems, you're already like creating a population that's so much smarter than before, because you're giving access to financial literacy through those decentralized systems. I think finance is not really that difficult to learn. It's just hard to get in, and especially people think it's unattainable for them because most good deals are not, like, are objectively not available. Well, yeah, just I don't know, being in crypto, having these kind of systems are very interesting. Hey, thanks for the follow. Go and stop. How's it going, man? What are you up to? We just finished, but yeah. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think those systems are super interesting. Going good. Nice. Where did you find me from? From my Twitter or from the Twitch page? Pretending to work. Let's go. Very interesting. Wait, I'll try to see if I can find another article, and then I'll wrap it up. I wanted to do only one, but maybe we can do another one. So here it was really more focused on the DAO aspect and what you can do with DAOs, basically. Let me look. I'd like to read more about DAOs, but I'm not sure if we can. Circo Loco. No. This? What is this about? This is more global economics. I have friends who recommended you. What? Really? This is nuts. Okay. Welcome. They recommended me in what sense? Let's see. Of course, interesting as well, because this entire article he wrote, well, he was like super bullish on this entire thing. Well, it was pretty much the top. Wait, I'll find. I think I had another article I wanted to read. 1 second. I'll just find it. Okay, I need to go at 14:30. I have an important call. So I don't have a lot of time. Let's look here. Tech. Do I have an article? Yeah. Okay, let's read this. How DAOs could change the way we work. April 7th. Okay, let's read this. I don't think it has text to speech. It's fine. I'll read it myself. Article note taking, no. So here we can do page. Boom. Other articles, and I can do here, boom, how DAOs can change the way we work. Boom. Here I can relink. Link. Bam. And now we can take notes. Okay. So, how DAOs could change the way we work. So Web3 represents the next iteration of the World Wide Web. It's built upon the blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies and is characterized by greater decentralization, transparency, and shared ownership. Web3 looks set to transform work as we know it, and the decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, is set to be the vehicle that leads the charge. As DAOs proliferate, instead of having one employer and 40-hour work week, we'll likely contribute several hours a week to several DAOs. The technology-centric nature of DAOs will result in rudimentary, algorithmic work being automated, freeing contributors up to be the most creative and useful versions of themselves and allowing them to spend more time on high-value activities. The type that stimulate the flow states and less time on monotonous, shallow tasks, instead of working from a central office all year long and having 2 to 4 weeks off. Most DAO contributors will instead work remotely from anywhere, which means that we'll also be able to live anywhere we choose. At its core, Web3 promises more fulfilling, outcomes-focused work with a fair distribution of ownership and rewards. Every technological revolution has transformed the way we work. The plow turned hunter-gatherers into farmers, the spinning jenny and the power loom turned farmers into factory workers. Industrial automation and computers turned factory workers into office dwellers, and then the internet fundamentally changed the way we got work done. And now there's a new transformation on the horizon that promises to change the way we work again. Web3. Web3 represents the next iteration of the World Wide Web. It's built upon blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. It's characterized by greater decentralization, transparency, and shared ownership. As venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz's general partner Chris Dixon tweeted, Web 1 was read-only directories, Web 2 was read-write, social media, and Web 3 is read-write-own. This entire idea of digital scarcity and in general the empowering of the individual. Okay. Web3 looks set to transform work as we know it, and the decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, is set to be the vehicle that leads the charge. DAOs are effectively owned and governed by people who hold a sufficient number of DAOs native tokens, which functions like a type of cryptocurrency. For example, FWB is the native token of popular social DAO called Friends with Benefits, and people can buy, earn, or trade it. Today, there are many different permutations of DAOs as depicted in this image from crypto investor and DAO thought leader Cooper Turley, with some being more decentralized than others. DAOs run the gamut of... What's the gamut? Okay, I don't know what this is. From media organizations to venture funds and grant programs to social networks, video games, financial and tech platforms, and philanthropic efforts. So how exactly could DAOs change the way we work? More autonomy over where, when, and how we work. As DAOs proliferate, instead of having one employer and a 40-hour work week, we might contribute several hours a week to several DAOs. This is already typical amongst early adopters to the space. Today's creator economy, populated by vloggers, bloggers, and podcasters, can give us a glimpse into what the Web3 working world might look like. With the typical creator earning income from a variety of projects such as coaching, consulting, and content monetization on various platforms such as YouTube, Substack, and Patreon. Freedom to do more fulfilling work. The technology-centric nature of DAOs may result in rudimentary, algorithmic work being automated, freeing contributors up to be the most creative and useful versions of themselves, and allowing them to spend more time on high-value activities, the type that stimulates the flow state, and less time on monotonous, shallow tasks. While 85% of today's global workforce is disengaged at work, DAOs will give people more freedom to choose projects whose mission and vision truly resonate with them, jobs that align with their strengths, and value aligned people to work with. This could also help to mitigate the work-life conflicts, excessive workloads, lack of autonomy, and office politics that drive workplace stress. More decision-making power. Contributors will be able to use their DAO's native tokens to vote on key decisions. You can get a glimpse into the kinds of decisions DAO members are already voting on at Snapshot, which is essentially a decentralized voting system. Not true 100%, but whatever. Having said this, existing voting mechanisms have been criticized by the likes of Vitalik Buterin, founder of ETH, the open source blockchain that acts as a foundational layer for the majority of Web3 applications. So this type of voting is likely to evolve over time. Yes, and this is especially what I'm interested in. I'm especially interested in taking a look at concepts that are especially used in I'm especially interested in concepts that are used in droit des sociétés in French. I don't know how to say it in English. I'm interested in I don't know, business law. I don't know how to say it. Law related to businesses. I forgot the word somehow. Because in these law systems, there are all these idea of quorum, of like set voting, majority to elect a decision, emergency decisions, stuff like this. And I think in those kind of laws, you can take a lot of good stuff and implement it in the blockchain, and I think implement specific things in the smart contracts to optimize flows. Sorry. Okay. Different compensation structures. While DAOs are likely to have a set core of contributors, at least in the early stages, who might be engaged on a full-time basis and even earn salaries, most people contributing to DAOs will instead complete individual tasks or bounties, such as build a messaging app or moderate an online community forum. Contributors can work to earn and generate either native tokens or fiat currencies denominated in USDC, a digital currency pegged to the US dollar or both. So this is the entire concept that people are really excited about, of completely decentralize the working identity, where you completely work with grants on a specific protocol. But the only issue I have with this idea is that at the end of the day, you need to create the foundation of this protocol or the business. And if you need to create the foundation of the protocol, it means you have some form of centralized approach, at least at the beginning. For instance, if you look at Compound or Uniswap or whatever, all these protocols, okay, they might have systems that reward contributors or whatever, but at the end of the day, the protocols have been built centrally. Some people have done the code. They have had a team that's doing like specific product design and stuff. So I believe, completely decentralized systems are not really true, because they are only possible at a specific scale, which might happen in the future. But for this specific scale to happen, you need to have the foundational layer and like the technological layer to support this. This is why I'm not that big on this entire decentralized aspect of it right now, because I don't think it's the best operational system to achieve this further this further spot where then you can build on top, where you can add some new perks and stuff like this. So yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Like I think just doing bounties will get you somewhere, but it won't get you to the point where you can be leading in a specific aspect. You can't really compete with protocols that will be centralized. You won't have an edge on the market because you will have 1,000 different little projects that have been built, but no foundational thing. So yeah, I'm not that excited about this right now. For instance, I recently contributed an article to an investment DAO, Global Coin Research, and earned 30 of its native GCR tokens. These tokens can be traded on exchanges such as Uniswap for other tokens or fiat currencies and represent ownership in a DAO, which is limited by the number of tokens in its token pool, not dissimilar to the total number of shares a corporation is limited by. Token holders could then use the platforms such as Yearn to stake their tokens. Staking efficiently amounts to depositing tokens into a central liquidity pool where they're used to validate blockchain transactions. Stakers earn APY, annual percentage yield, which effectively amounts to interest, which in some cases can exceed 20%. In the developing world, the play to earn P2E model, a variation of work to earn, is already bearing fruits for an army of teenagers. For example, Axie Infinity is a token-based video game where gamers collect, breed, raise, battle, and trade creatures known as Axies. The game's native token, AXS, has a market cap of 4.3 billion at the time of writing, but unlike traditional video games where players don't actually own their characters or peripheral assets such as swords, players own their Axies as NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and can sell them on the game's marketplace. The average Axie gamer, typically a teenager from the Philippines, earns about 10 to 20 per day playing the game, on par with the country's average salary, while the price of Axies can appreciate over time, with some fetching a price of 300 ETH or about 1 million at time of writing. Axie Infinity generated 1.3 billion revenues in 2021 attributable to Axie marketplace transaction fees and Axie breeding fees. This is entirely dead right now, by the way. I think they need to rework their incentive structure. But yeah, Axie was completely wild at the time of its peak. I think now they are clearly not earning as much as they were before. The entire experiment has been a complete failure. Another permutation of this model is Learn to Earn, L2E. An example is the platform Rabbit Hole, which pays you to learn about Web3 applications. This is interesting. I didn't know. What is this? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Okay, very good page. Okay, Learn to Earn is not a thing anymore, guys. Bear market, we don't learn anymore. I'm sorry. It's the game. Oh my god. Okay. Which pays you to learn about Web3 applications. Other permutations include Create to Earn, C2E, such as writing articles or designing artwork in exchange for tokens, and Use to Earn, such as posting comments and engaging with Web3 social media applications such as Minds. In addition to all of this, token holders can also speculate on their tokens, the price of which might increase in value over time based on supply and demand, much like traditional shares in a company. Work from anywhere. As many traditional managers with apparent trust issues continue to hide behind the cloak of team bonding, while sending everyone back to the office in the wake of the pandemic, DAOs not only don't care where you work, they also don't care when you work or what you look like while you're working. In fact, many contributors are recognized only by the NFT profile pics. Netflix co-founder Mark Randolph said on the Future Squared podcast that in the place where you're evaluated solely on the quality of your work, no one really cares about your appearance. I agree. I like this as well. Instead of working from a central office all year long and having 4 weeks off, most DAO contributors will likely work remotely, bond in virtual social spaces such as crypto voxels or the sandbox, and for several days or weeks a year, get together in real life for inspiring conferences and retreats. Traditional organizations that demand that their employees go into the office for 2 or 3 days a week effectively anchor their employees to life in one place, usually close to a central business district. Firms with such archaic and mobility limiting positions will likely find it increasingly difficult to win the battle for millennials and in particular Gen Z talent. I agree, and I can relate to this a lot. I'm working completely remotely on all my things, and it's very exciting because that allows me to do several different projects at the same time and just work at the pace of my ambition, which I can't do if I would be tied to a specific physical workplace. Some might argue that DAOs, like many gig economy companies, threaten labor rights, but DAOs themselves are looking to address this. For example, Opolis, a digital employment cooperative, helps DAO contributors and contractors get their health insurance and 401k retirement plans in order. Okay, so this is like more on the legal side. This can be interesting. The DAO movement is still in its infancy and has a number of its own challenges to work out when it comes to governance and trust. The mainstream adoption of Web3 rests upon the resolution of questions related to user experience, UX, security, scalability, and regulatory clarity. However, at the current pace of talent acquisition, capital raising, and innovation in the space, mainstream proliferation could happen sooner rather than later. At its core, Web3 promises more fulfilling and outcomes-focused work with a fair distribution of ownership and rewards, and that is a future worth building. And that's it. I think very good article. I don't have a lot of notes I can take here. Most of it I'm relatively agree with. I guess I can note the different project names, so let's do this. Opolis is doing digital employment cooperative. Then Sandbox, blah blah blah. Okay, I know. Future Script. Okay, we don't care. Minds, maybe. Minds. Web3 social media application. Minds. I'll research later. Axie, blah 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 blah. Uniswap, bounties, existing voting, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Good. Okay, and I think that's it. And I will cut the stream for today. I believe. Does anyone have remaining questions? I think we went over specific topics on DAOs. The article by Arthur Hayes was more specific to this idea of credit scoring and how you can build financial systems on top of DAOs as a decentralized system with automated execution, which is very interesting. The second article was more general, just explaining the context and the different aspects and why DAOs are bullish. But yeah, I think it's a bit too optimistic right now. I believe the process to get where they want to be, where like anyone can just contribute and basically earn by contributing, is I'm not sure if it will be the sustainable model in the future, because there is specific tasks where you need centralized entities or you need team formation in order to be more effective. So I strongly believe you can form teams in a decentralized way, online, with like remote work and stuff. I think it works very well, but I don't believe just having several different individual contributing on an individual, like just on their own, will really help businesses to form and develop. I really think you need multiple layers to get there. And you need a core business that's already built, and then you can use the DAO as an additional contribution or grants program. But I think, I'm not that convinced of the fully decentralized approach. Maybe I'm pessimistic, but I don't think it works, even with solid incentives. Okay, so I think I'll cut it here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be back tomorrow, I think, with some other stuff. And maybe tomorrow we do some React again. And not just article reading. But yeah, I think it was a great stream. Always cool to read articles by Arthur Hayes. What a chat. It gives, every time I read an article by him, I just get like 10 new ideas. Okay. Take care. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye bye.